I got the call Sunday, January 27th, 11:30 a.m. My dad died. I knew it was coming. A couple of weeks ago I had written a few pages in my notebook about how I thought I was likely to feel when he died. I reread them after I got the call and realized very quickly that I didn't have any idea of what I had been talking about. I don't know if this happens to everyone, but when I looked in the mirror for the first time, I almost didn't recognize myself. I went to look out the window and was almost surprised that the world outside still appeared to be functioning as normal. I couldn't figure out if it was a comfort or if I resented it. My dad and I were certainly not close in the conventional sense. When I was a kid, we hardly ever talked. He was always wrapped up in doing his physics in the kitchen, and you could usually walk right past him and out the door without him looking up. I should mention that I don't have any anger about this. He was a shepherd boy in Turkey when he was little, and both of his parents were dead by the time he was 12, so it's not like he had a role model in parenting. It doesn't matter if this is the way it should have been or not. This is the way it was, and that's that. I think it's normal, especially for a boy, to try to emulate your father in some way. So I did it in the only way I could think of, by appropriating his stuff. He had a few boxes of old office supplies in the basement that I remembered seeing him use when I was little. As I sit here writing this, I'm using his old paper binders and one of his mid-70s Pilot mechanical pencils. I can understand completely that this may sound a little demented, but to me it's about as logical as it gets. Anyway, my dad died. I don't know if this makes sense, but it's been hard for me to tell anyone because I know the standard reaction is sympathy, and sympathy makes me very uncomfortable for some reason. Even though I know people would mean well, I don't know if I could cope with anyone saying, "He's in a better place," or "He will always be with you." My dad didn't believe in heaven, and neither do I. If we were wrong and he made it there, I can only imagine that the other angels would be singing along, and he'd be sitting doing physics on his cloud. I can almost hear him saying, "This cloud is so bad. They don't have any place where you can put your back, and they play this harp music all the time, and it's just undesirable." Something I'm noticing about mourning. I know that I'm mourning my dad, but as far as I can tell, I think I'm sort of mourning myself too. There's a certain perception of yourself that you have when your parents are alive that simply does not exist anymore once they're gone. I'm mourning that I'm not going to be able to look at myself quite in the same way again. I feel like I should say something else to end this, but I don't think there's anything else to say. So be it.